This video is brought to you by PrizePicks. You know, over the weekend, right before camp, the Browns had their big offseason controversy. Was it somebody getting arrested? No. Was it somebody potentially getting suspended? No. Was it somebody holding out because they're not going to be in camp? No. Was it some kind of pending legal situation? No. It was Jerry Jeudy potentially, allegedly supporting Deshaun Watson on an Instagram Live. And before we get into the silliness and the nonsense that is that subject, right? The story that I am going to put on the title and thumbnail of this video to get you to click on it because some of y'all like this shit. Right? Some of y'all like to discuss this. I am first going to tell you that this is actually good news. I don't really care what Jerry Jeudy is trying to say or not. I'm not saying that's good news. I'm saying the fact that this is the thing that we're talking about heading into camp, that this is the big story that we're heading into camp with. Oh yeah, this is good news. The reason it's good news is because this ain't shit. This is a nothing story. Come on. It's a made up reality TV nonsense story. It's really just there to satisfy the reality TV like crowd that consumes both positive and negative shit about Shedeur Sanders, right? This is no different than when your girl talks your ear off about Love Island or when your homeboy talks your ear off about Love Island. This is no different than people following people on reality TV shows who are beefing in Instagram comment sections and the Jasmine brand picks it up and it becomes a news story. This is no different than that. This is just the football version of media takeout. This is just the football version of the Shade Room. This is football version of World Star Hip Hop. These are nothing garbage bullshit stories. All right. I'll dig deeper into that after we get out the ad break. But I'm going to first force y'all to understand that even though these stories might annoy you, the fact that this is what people have to talk about right now is actually a good thing. Because that means we don't have any contract holdouts. That would be a bigger story than this. We don't have anybody getting injured in the offseason. That would be a bigger story than this. We don't have anybody going to jail. Nobody's getting suspended. We didn't sign somebody with a bunch of cases during the offseason break, right? Like, we're not heading into training camp with an actual controversy. We're heading into it with manufactured bullshit. That don't matter. Nothing about how you feel about this Jerry Jeudy story actually matters. I'm here to tell you right now. Before we can talk about it, we can have some fun with it. We can entertain it and see and read into it. But at the end of the day, nothing about this story matters, right? It's entertainment. It's a fun way to waste 10 minutes or to kill 10 minutes. If you want to kill some 10 minutes, I'll kill it with you. You know what I mean? But I need everybody to understand that this Jerry Jeudy story is pointless. Don't nobody care. Don't nobody actually care about this, whether Jerry Jeudy prefers Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders. It don't matter. What does Jerry Jeudy have to do with that conversation? He's not making the decision. He's not in the room with Todd Mock. Yeah, we're going to start Shedeur. It don't matter. Even if he did prefer. And by the way, it's questionable whether he even meant to make it look like that. I think that footage that people are showing around has been heavily edited. But nonetheless, again, we'll get into that in the later half of this video. That does not matter. The thing that matters right now is that nobody's going to jail. You might laugh. But last year at this time, we thought our starting running back was going to jail. Hell, the Atlanta Falcons right now, their best pass rusher might be going to jail. The Detroit Lions just had to cut Terrion Arnold because he's definitely going to jail. So I'm not joking. I've been through a lot of off seasons with the Cleveland Browns. this is the first offseason where there's not been a credible threat of somebody going to jail at the start of camp or getting suspended because they probably should have went to jail, right? We're not talking about the commissioner exempt list. We're not digging up the random lawyer dude on Brown's Twitter to ask him a million free legal questions about what's going to happen with the NFL's process. We're not out here trying to figure out habeas corpus to figure out if a player is going to be able to play by week 8. We're not sitting here speculating on how much Roger Goodell wants to punish a player. We're not digging up, doctors in the Browns community to have them talk about injuries that may or may not have happened during the break. We're not getting out here and all cosplaying as agents because one of our best players is in a contract dispute with the team and potentially might hold out. We're just arguing about what Jerry Jeudy was doing on an Instagram Live. And look, that's annoying to have to talk about somebody's Instagram, especially for me. I am 31, but I get called routinely a pretty old 31 when it comes to stuff like this. I've never really big in to social media drama. I don't follow football players on Instagram. I don't follow football players on Twitter. I don't join their lives when they're on live because what the fuck is that about? Look, maybe some of y'all like doing it, but like these football players be having the most boring lives of all. You be seeing the footage of this stuff. They just be on the phone saying nothing for like 3 hours. Y'all just be in the comment. Oh yeah, I love you, Jeudy. You're going to get him, Jeudy. Like, hey, what is this? What is this about? I don't understand it. So no, don't really care for whatever any athlete is doing on social media. It could be, look, I love Myles Garrett. I ain't follow that on Instagram. Are you serious? Why? Why would I care what Myles Garrett does on Instagram? I have NFL Sunday Ticket. That is where I follow Myles Garrett. Right? Like I can't be the only one that feels this way. I don't know why people follow these athletes on social media. It's not something that I want to do. But again, people ingest this sport differently. It's not how I do it, but y'all do it y'all way. Cool, whatever. But the fact that this is what we're talking about is actually a good thing. And you know what? As annoyed as I am to have to talk about Jerry Jeudy's Instagram, as annoyed as I am to have to break down social media tendencies amongst fans when all I want to break down is some real football, but we're about a week out from pads in camp, right? I'll take it. I'll take this over having to act like a lawyer and figure out how long somebody's going to go to jail. I'll take this over having to try to decipher a suspension. I'll take this over speculating about a contract holdout. I'll take this over all those stories. Because what this tells me is that at least the Browns, for the first time in quite some time, like when's the last time the Browns have had a controversial, like 2021? It was the first time since 2021. We've had a camp that wasn't marred with controversy, right? 2022, Deshaun Watson. 2023, still Deshaun Watson. 2024, Mike Hall. 2025, Quincy Judkins. This is the first camp where we're not talking about somebody going to jail. We're not talking about somebody defending themselves from suspension, coming back from suspension. We're not talking about somebody having more cases added to their name and could that add to a suspension. We're just talking about this because we got nothing else to talk about. We're going to continue, and I promise you, I'll actually talk about this Jerry Jeudy story if you want me to talk about it after the break. But first, I got to thank my sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 sports pick app. The app is really easy to use. For player picks, just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. That's it. Rather just pick teams, PrizePicks has that now too. Just pick the winner, spread, or total in any game or fight. PrizePicks is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Plus, you can even follow me on the app at Quen_C. Tell my picks, one click, and follow your friends too. Best of all, play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. Just use the promo code HMA when you sign up. That's right. PrizePicks just switched up their offer, so there's no better time to join. Lock in and win with that first lineup. That's code HMA at sign up to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win with your first $5 or up lineup. So the important part of this video was the first part, right? It's a good thing that the Browns are so boring right now that people are manufacturing a story about Jerry Jeudy to be able to have an excuse to talk about the Browns. Now, I broke down this whole dynamic in a video I dropped last week where I basically said you can't follow the Shador stuff and how Shador Sanders fans, not just Browns fans, but Shador Sanders specific fans react to this stuff like it's football, because they're reacting to this and treating this more like reality TV. This story is a huge example of this. Don't this feel like some reality TV bullshit? Jerry Jeudy's Instagram live might have been edited to look like he supports Deshaun Watson. It's the most Instagram Jasmine brand, all the garbage news topics, right? All the garbage aggregators, they love stuff like this, right? This is like the most made for them controversy of all time. Because ultimately, all we have is Jerry Jeudy supporting Deshaun Watson. Okay. Am I supposed to be upset? Like, you're only really upset about this story if you're parasocial about Jerry Jeudy or Shador Sanders or Deshaun Watson, right? And quite frankly, a lot of people are parasocial about athletes these days. So this bangs, right, with the reality TV crowd. I'm not judging you for being a reality TV person or liking reality TV stuff. If you love Love Island, if you love whatever they got going on, sure. You know what I mean? It's not my jam. I don't really care for it. But, if you like it, cool. I don't understand. But this is obviously something that appeals to that, right? People who like to start drama on Instagram. This is for that, right? Now, could I also make a criticism of Jerry Jeudy here while we're at it? Because I think this controversy is pretty made up. I think this controversy is pretty stupid. I think this controversy is pretty goofy. And I don't really think Jerry Jeudy's at fault here. It does seem like the video was edited to make it seem like Jerry Jeudy was supporting Deshaun way more than what it is, right? And we all know right now the Sanders fan base, because of that sideline altercation that Jerry Jeudy had, which, by the way, is very normal for a starting quarterback to have. So if you want Shador to have a long career in the NFL, that's going to happen a lot. But because of that, they've made Jerry Jeudy enemy number one, and he's had a rough relationship with those people. And I imagine that they've sent him some pretty fucked up stuff behind the scenes in his DMs. And Jerry Jeudy is most definitely the type of person to look at that kind of stuff. And I don't really think it's crazy to think that that has affected his view on what he wants to start at quarterback. Like, yeah, y'all been bullying this for like 8 months, and then you surprised that he sided with the other quarterback? What is that? What is that? I don't want Deshaun Watson to start, but I can understand why Jerry Jeudy would, right? That being said, Jerry Jeudy, you are the most online person who needs to not be online, right? Like, Jerry Jeudy is not built for this online stuff, but he wants to be online so bad. And I feel like with some players, they're online, but it doesn't affect them, right? Like Kevin Durant is a great example of this. He's a super online dude. If you tweet angrily about not Kevin Garnett. Imagine if Kevin Garnett was online. But Kevin Durant will hear it. Kevin Durant will reply to it. But Kevin Durant will also drop 30, so it don't matter, right? Like, he's super online, but he built for it. So it doesn't affect his game. There are other people who are super online where I'm like, I think you need to evaluate how much value spending this energy online does to your actual output. Because Jerry Jeudy is the type of person who's online a lot. He hears everything people say about him, and it doesn't help him. The more he's invested in this stuff, the worse he plays. Usually how it goes with Jerry Jeudy. We saw this in Denver. We're seeing this in Cleveland. And this is not giving me the best impression that Jerry Jeudy is going to have the bounce back year I'm hoping for him to have. Like, I have seen enough evidence of the being online stuff for him not being beneficial that I need him not to be online if he's serious about getting better. Because I think there's enough of a correlation there that he should take it seriously. So, yeah, this is bullshit. Not really your fault. I don't blame you, Jerry Jeudy. But also, this should be a reminder to Jerry Jeudy of why he doesn't need to be online. Why maybe that energy that he likes to spend online, because maybe he likes interaction and people and all that, find a different way to get that other than being on the internet. Because spending your energy on the internet for Jerry Jeudy has always been something that's hurt him in his pro career. So if I have a criticism for Jerry Jeudy, it's that. I don't love how much he's been online the last couple of months, and I don't think that does great things for him from a mental standpoint and from an on-the-field standpoint, at least from a 12,000 foot view, right? But yeah, that's my thoughts on all of this. The story is stupid. If you saw that video and you got actually mad about that video, I'm not even going to show the video, by the way. I know some people show the video. I'm not, because it's misinformation. I'm not about to show you misinformation on purpose, right? The video was edited to make it look like he supports Deshaun Watson more. That's all you really need to know. If that made you seriously angry, you too should look at the mirror, like I suggested Jerry Jeudy should, and ask yourself, how being this online and giving this much energy to things that you're reading online, is that actually making your life better? Is that making you better at the things that you want to be better at? Because for Jerry Jeudy, I think the answer is no. For some of you, I think the answer is no. It's not making you better, right? Doesn't mean you got to delete your internet package, right? Not going to suggest you just completely get off the internet entirely. Just download my videos and that's all the internet you need. Just joking. But, you know, I've had this experience myself, right? Where there was a period while doing this channel where I was extremely online. I was tweeting like every day, 20 times a day. I was super online. And one day I looked up myself in the mirror after being online that much and thought to myself, I don't think this makes my show better. I don't think this makes my YouTube channels better. I don't think this makes my work better, my energy to work better. So I pulled back from how much I was online because I wanted to be better at this. And I need the energy to go here, not Twitter. A lot of people need to make that decision. Jerry Jeudy, I think he does. But, you know, again, I think if this story riled you up, I think that's a sign that maybe you should also evaluate how you look at this thing. Because this is a stupid story. And honestly, the fact that this is the thing that we're talking about before camp is actually a good thing. Because it means nobody's actually in trouble. Y'all have a great day. Have a better night. Peace.